All right, today I'm going to talk about hitching up our little guy Max to our GMC 1500. Steps we take. Before we go through that, I want to talk about the parts involved in all this. So let's check that out and then we'll get to the actual setup.
Along these roads we roam, we find adventure through traveling, camping, boondocking, and exploring.
First off is our chocks. This will stop the trailer from rolling forward or backwards. We have one up front and we have one behind. Make sure those are in place before you start this. On all four corners we have these stabilizers. I've seen a lot of people refer to them as levelers. These don't level. They can't take the weight of your trailer. These are only for stabilization so the trailer doesn't rock back and forth when you're walking around in it. The next piece we're going to talk about is our hitch safety pin. We have a locking pin here. So always make sure that if you have the locking type, it's still locked and secured, or a lot of them will have cotter pins. Make sure that cotter pin is in place so it doesn't slide out. Now here we have our ball hitch, and this is for our sway control. Now this is our easy lift sway control bar. We always use this. And this is where we connect our sway control to the trailer from that ball we looked at earlier. So this is our Lippert Smart Jack. As you can see, we have it resting on several leveling blocks. Now you can use a block of wood or whatever. You don't even have to use these. The reason I use them is that it's less far for the jack to have to travel, which saves a lot of time. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to lift those stabilizers because you don't want those stabilizers catching all the weight. And we're going to have to raise the front of the trailer so we can get the ball underneath it, which means if we didn't lift these stabilizers, they would be taking all the weight or they would prevent the trailer from going up. Now remember, we have our chocks in place, so this doesn't roll. All right, so now we're gonna lift the tongue of our trailer so we can get the ball underneath it in preparation to hook up. Remember, the chocks are in place. We're gonna be lifting the tongue of that trailer up so we don't want the trailer to slide backwards. Now I like to have the truck with the hitch nearby. That way I can gauge the height between the tongue and the ball to make sure I have clearance. Okay, this looks pretty good. The thing to remember is before putting the car back into park, set your parking brake. That way the car doesn't slide forward a little bit when it engages into park. So now I'm going to lower the weight of the trailer onto the hitch. Once you get the full weight of the trailer, you can slide the lock forward. Don't try to do this when you don't have the full weight of the trailer. Otherwise you're going to struggle. You have to have full weight of the trailer in order to slide this forward. All right, now that we have the full weight of the trailer on the hitch, we should be able to slide this in place. Now this happens sometimes. You can see it's not going anywhere. I found the best way to remedy this is to get back in the truck, pull forward a little bit, pull backward a little bit, get this ball to fully seat inside here, then we'll be able to slide that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move these leveling blocks out of the way. Don't put your hands under there, it's just a safety issue. Okay, so hopefully that's enough to slide this over. There it is. Okay, so now to finish raising the jack. All right, so now we're gonna secure the trailer with all the safety measures. A lot of people have a pin that'll go through here to lock this locking hitch. I prefer a padlock. Slide that through, lock it. That's not going anywhere. Now we'll set up our safety chains. Now these you want to cross. If you're using weight distribution bars, you want these chains inside the weight distribution bars, not outside. Connect your sway control, secure with cotter pins, and tighten sway control bar. We have a 7-pin plug. which allows us to control the braking as well as the signal lights on this trailer. Okay, now and only now that we're securely connected to the truck do we remove the chocks. All right, now this might be a little bit difficult because remember I had to pull the truck a little bit forward to seat that ball. So let's see. Oh, got it. All right. One last thing, this isn't part of setup, but I think it's very important. So I do this every time before we roll. I check the torque of the lug nuts. They should all be at 100 foot-pounds. One last step. We have to do a check to make sure our lights, our blinkers, our brakes, that sort of stuff is working. So we'll have Carrie help us with that.
That's good. That's good.